Alright, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over some temperature mechanics in Rimworld, some things that I see people say and claim as far as the way that things work in Rimworld, and we're going to showcase a few things, and hopefully it'll help you out a little bit. So what I've done here is we have built a 8x8 structure out of every material available that I could think of anyway. I don't think I missed anything as far as this, and all of these rooms are have roofs over them, and we have a single heater in them, and they are all set to 106 degrees Fahrenheit, so this is obviously going to be set, they're set to a higher temperature than what they could actually, the room could normally, like the heater could get the room to. So that way we can kind of see what the difference is between different materials here, and there is no difference here. We have, and this is including things like gold and jade and plasteel. Plasteel has a lot of health, but as far as any material goes, they do not give any sort of benefit. If I play time here, it'll be a little bit of temperature fluctuation between these rooms. Between 49 to 52 degrees, and there's a little bit of difference because the temperature is changing in the world, obviously, but all of these rooms are essentially the same. There's not a significant temperature difference between any of them. Now, as far as double thickness walls go, there is a significant difference, and it allows for there to be a greater delay between, how much the outer temperature can penetrate your interior. And you can see that this heater, also set to 106 degrees Fahrenheit, is capable of getting this room to 80 degrees, as opposed to this room, which is only able to get it to 52. So you can have a significantly more efficient room by utilizing double walls. Anything beyond double is not something that is going to be, it's not going to give you any benefit. So whether this is 3 or whether it was in the middle of a mountain or anything like that, you're not going to be able to get this above, like any more efficient than just the 2-layer thickness wall, right? So that way you can get that room a little bit warmer, especially if you're in an ice sheet. So is that way you can ensure that your people don't freeze to death. So another thing that I wanted to show here is the fact that if you end up doing this room, we're just trying to hold at 70 degrees, 4 heaters making this very easy. If you end up doing a double thickness wall inside of another base, now you would think that, okay, well, this is surrounded by 70 degrees. This room in the middle, how could it be anything other than 70 degrees? Well, if you do a double thickness wall, then it's trying to tell its temperature from the outside, not whatever's surrounding it. It just takes the temperature from like the world temperature. So it's trying to obtain that temperature here, and you can see it's actually colder in the middle of this room than it is on the outside here. So pretty crazy, but hopefully that'll save you some heartache or some resources as far as trying to keep a room warm that you have double doored or something along a double thickness walled inside of your base. Yeah, it's not going to work out too great for you. So hopefully that helps you out as well. And the other thing that I kind of wanted to showcase here is this is just a world that we've cheated together just so that I can, for the purposes of the tutorial, let's get some of our characters, all 4 of our characters in fact, down here. So that way we can kind of showcase some different airlock systems that we have. And even without there being anybody going through these doors, there will be a little bit of a temperature difference, even just having multiple doors set up. So the 3 doors setup that we have here, able to maintain 53 degrees. When we compare that to a room that has no doors on it, that is, in this case, pretty identical playtime solo here. But so variance of degrees, just kind of fluctuating a little bit there. But if we go to 2 doors, it's going to be a little bit colder. But these 2 are pretty much holding at the same temperature. Still 2 doors in this room is going to be the coldest of the 4. So holding at 47 degrees. And what we're going to be showcasing here, of course, is obviously if you have more doors, then it's going to take longer for your colonists to go through. But if you're trying to keep your room a certain temperature, whether you're, have a freezer, or if you're trying to keep your colonists warm, or if you're trying to brew beer, the temperature requirements, you want to keep it as stable as possible. So, Marquez showing up late here. Okay, thank you. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and go at double speed, but we'll go ahead and have everybody kind of go in and out several times of this room, in these rooms, so that way we can kind of showcase the temperature loss that we can have by doing this several times. I'm going to let Marquez kind of do that. Okay, it does take a little bit longer for these multiple door rooms here, but we want to make sure that we're kind of seeing what kind of temperature loss we can get here. So now we've gone in and out of the room a few times. Let's go out one more time for good measure here, and then we'll take a look, close look at the temperatures here. Okay, so in this room down over here, we have a 54 degrees. So holding pretty steady with those 3 doors. When we compare that to a completely closed off room, 59 degrees, it's definitely cooled down just a little bit, but not insanely. If we look over here, 53 degrees, definitely not doing too bad, but a degree colder. 52 degrees over here as well, 52, 53, and then if we look over here, 47 degrees. So we are getting more temperature loss in this room. All of these heaters are set for 70 degrees. The room can't. All of the rooms are 8x8, but the heaters can't get the temperature up to 70 degrees because it's -4 outside. So if we were to have our guys run in and out of these rooms a few more times, can see what kind of temperature loss we could possibly get. And it is a little bit annoying to have your colonists have to take extra time to go through the doors. If you do get auto doors, then having a couple of those set up would make the process a little bit faster, of course. But it can definitely be worth it if you're trying to maintain high temperatures. So 54 degrees over here, 54 degrees here as well, 52 degrees here, and down to 46 degrees over here. So you can definitely see that the temperature difference of trying to maintain is definitely going to be, you're going to be better off having a multi-door setup. My personal setup is typically a double door airlock like this, just because going through 3 doors as compared to 2 can take a little bit of time. Although there is like a slowdown between the 2 doors, of course, but it's a little bit faster than going through 3 doors. So that's this is my personal favorite as far as an airlock setup goes. But that hopefully kind of showcases a little bit of temperature that you might not have already known, or something that can kind of put into so have some kind of some solid evidence as far as what kind of setups are going to be most efficient, what kind of setups that you want to be using. So let's see, we covered the airlocks, we have the different room types, different structure types, and those didn't make any difference. We have the double doors, anything beyond that, or the double thickness here, they have anything beyond that is not going to be super beneficial. And then again, with having a double thickness wall set up in the inside of your base is going to end up in you having a lot of problems trying to get that room heated, of course. So other than that, I think that's about everything that I wanted to cover as far as temperature goes. I was showcasing over here, we have this room up to 154 degrees, and again, with a double door setup here, that's not able to penetrate. It's not as cold because we do have doors here, but it is definitely not nearly, like, you're not going to be able to very efficiently heat a room when you have a double door. If you can have just one thickness, and that's going to be a lot better. Of course, a vent will allow air to go through as well, or holding the door open. But yeah, I think that's about all that I wanted to cover as far as temperature mechanics go. But just FYI, as far as steam geysers go, they give you the heat of about 1 heater. So I mean, it can vary just a little bit, but every time the steam geyser kind of has its plume of steam, then that's when it adds heat to the room. But definitely, as far as a lot of, like, if you're doing an ice sheet goes, not in my most recent experience necessary to utilize the steam geysers. You can use a fire for the first night, and then anything past that first night, you can just get a heater going, get some power going, and get a heater going. And it's because it's not that much resources, and it's going to be that way you can build your base in a little bit more of an advantageous position, not having to build your base based on the whim of the steam geyser. So hopefully that is helpful to you, and yeah, we're going to continue doing some other tutorial kind of videos to try and showcase some different mechanics and hopefully make the game a little bit, certain mechanics a little bit more understandable. So hopefully you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.